won't lie, like that apology was just a half-ass apology. Like, I don't think she took accountability for it in any way, and then still had the audacity to just like move on with life as if she didn't do anything wrong. So now when people be asking me, oh, where's Margaret, where's Margaret, where's Margaret, bro, she's not my friend anymore. Hey, I'm Sihle, and if you're seeing my face for the first time today, then do be sure to click that subscribe button down below so that you can become a rock star straight away. So this is the first episode of a new segment / series that I'm trying to introduce to my channel. It's a story time series called Scenes, and that is because the story times that I'm gonna bring to you in these episodes, child, are so crazy that it just felt like I was part of a movie. Like, is this even real right now? Like, bro, the things that people have done to me, the things that I've experienced lately, just deserve a story time for other people to hear, because shit is crazy out here, bro. I'm gonna get into the first story time, or the first episode of Scenes, where I got ditched at the club by my so-called best friend.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You know, when we grow up, these things are bound to happen, and you know, at first it really hurt me. But when I tell you how this went down in terms of this one specific friendship, like, you know, maybe it was just meant to be. I don't know. Only God knows that I went through that for a reason. And that's why I've kind of also just accepted things for what they are. And yeah, I mean, if you know the person, you know them, good for you. It makes the like story even more spicy for you and more entertaining. Great stuff. This friend of mine, her name will be Margaret. Her name will be Margaret in this video for, you know, anonymity's sake. And yeah, it was basically the birthday week / weekend for Margaret, and she wanted to celebrate it in Joburg. Cool, sharp. I stay in Joburg, so that means, you know, I'm definitely gonna be there for the vibes, just to be there to celebrate you as your girl, you know, because I was also really excited for the whole thing to happen, especially since she had also just planned to also celebrate it at the club, because that's even more fun, you know, that's even more, you know, festive, you know, a little more, you know, fun for the bad bitches, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that is basically how I'm started, because like all the other details before that aren't really relevant to the scenes that like took place at the club. So I'm taking it all the way there. I'm starting it at the club because that's kind of where things went from bad to worse. Great. So Margaret, who was a very close friend to me, was hosting her birthday alongside another friend of hers called Bridget, and her and Bridget were basically co-hosting, like they were hosting their birthdays together because they're slightly close in proximity to each other. And I guess that was gonna make the whole vibe even more fun, because it's like two bad bitches are hosting their friends or whatever at the club, so we're bound to have like a good time, because Bridget's friends will be there, and Margaret, you know, invited me, so I invited my friends, you know, to also just join me in those festivities, because, you know, the more the merrier, right? Great, cool, sharp. Okay, cool. Bridget, the co-host, you know, had her own birthday dinner going on that same day. So Margaret and I just agreed that me and my friends that I invited to the vibes are just gonna meet them at the club. So great, cool, sharp. My friends and I then get ready, you know, doll up and all that stuff before leaving for the club. Like, we all met at my place. Margaret told me that we needed to be by the club by 11:30, and although I didn't think too much of it, I was just like, okay, cool, like we'll just be there and you'll find us there and all that stuff. But I was under the impression that when we get there we'll like have things already organized and stuff like that. Like maybe there's already like a separate section waiting for us to just occupy. But first red flag was that once me and my girls got there on time, we actually didn't have a place to sit for a hot minute.
You know, like a pack of sardines, and we cannot escape, we cannot come out. Mama!
And we are looking good, we are in heels, we are dolled the fuck up, and you know, not having a place to sit once we arrived was kind of whack, because like we're in heels, bro. So like the promoters there at the club were literally making us wait while they kind of like organized their people that were on their guest list and stuff, like, you know, getting their drinks, getting them seated and stuff like that. So no one really kind of like took care of us when we were there. So we found ourselves like waiting by the bar, standing on our feet for so long. And I felt really bad for one of my other friends that I was with, because her heels were high and thin af, so she was complaining first about her feet killing her. And I felt bad because it's just like, girl, shit, sorry about this, because I didn't know this would even be happening, and our hosts for the night weren't even there yet to kind of, you know, speed up the process and all that stuff. So we're kind of just like standing at the bar looking like lost baddies. And there's nothing more weird and embarrassing and awkward than standing at the fucking club as a hun looking lost because you don't even have a place to sit, right? Because all the other girls who were on guest lists and stuff had already like filled up all the like spaces where guest list huns sit, right? So sharp, we're waiting, we're standing, and while we're waiting and standing, we obviously get the like pre-drinks poured for us while we're waiting. So we're kind of just, you know, trying to be as patient as we can, but it really did get tedious because now our feet are killing us and we don't know what's going on. And like Bridget and Margaret are like still at this birthday dinner, like having their own fun, and we're just getting frustrated like from a distance, because obviously we want y'all to pull up and sort things out, you know. Like I didn't go to these festivities wanting to be hosting anyone because I was like one of the guests, you know. Me and my friends that pulled up were not supposed to be in the position we're put in. We're supposed to be taken care of, you know. I don't feel like we're being taken care of as, you know, the people that, you know, came through for these people to celebrate them, you know. So Bridget and Margaret just taking their sweet time was kind of like inconveniencing us most of the time, because not only were we there before midnight, we were waiting for these girls to pull through so that we could actually start, you know, enjoying ourselves and stuff like that, especially since one of the promoters that was supposed to be handling things for us was not really entertaining us who were already there, because he was on some, yeah, I'm waiting for the birthday girl to pull through, I'm waiting for the birthday girl to pull through before I bring 1 2 3, before I do 1 2 3. And I'm just like, dude, we don't know what's going on. They say they're on their way, they say they're on their way, and guess what time they pull up? Past 1 in the morning.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And bear in mind, I'm messaging Margaret on some, dude, like, you guys are taking your sweet time, we're waiting for you guys, like, what's going on? Like, you know, you can't tell me and my friends to pull up by 11:30 only for you guys to pull up past 1 in the morning and, you know, do what you did to us. You know what I'm saying? Do what you did to me. Like, I literally easily could have stayed home, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bruh, you be putting people through a lot unnecessarily, because shit just felt so disorganized. It just felt so unplanned, or, you know, uncertain, and it was pissing me off because now I'm letting down the friends that I brought like with me, and it's like I feel like I'm letting my people down, you know, because people are complaining, people want to go home, people look like people's feet are killing them and shit like that. So it's just like, shit, man, like it's actually not going according to plan. Please tell me why Please, like, that is not even the crazy part, you know, them coming at the time they did. The crazy part was after they had just arrived, you know, like Margaret, Bridget, and Bridget's friends pulled through. Where do I even start? Okay, let me start by saying one of Bridget's friends was actually in the club also waiting for them to pull up, because I didn't know who Bridget invited on her end, like as her homies or whatever, because they had like come with another friend, and then apparently there was another friend at the club also just waiting for like the girls to pull through, but I didn't know who else was there for the whole festivities. So she was by herself, like she was alone waiting for like the girls to pull through. At least with me, like I was like with my 3 other friends, so like at least I wasn't like alone and lost, you know what I'm saying? But still, it still felt whack, because looking lost is so embarrassing, especially in the club, because you also don't want unwanted attention from like men that you don't even want to entertain, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like when everyone came through, that's when we found out that, oh shit, like you were also joining us too. Damn, sorry that you also had to wait that long, but you know, at least they finally pulled through, right? Cool, sharp. But that's not even the craziest part, man. The craziest part about them when they arrived was it didn't even take 10 minutes. It didn't even take 10 minutes for Margaret and Bridget to like settle and stuff like that, for them to get up and leave. Like Bridget, like after like greeting and stuff like that, was like, and like basically she was on some like, you know, cut the cameras, like, you know, I'm out. And I'm just like, girl, what do you mean you out? You just got here, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? But she had a valid reason to up and leave, and that was because her best friend Chloe, was greening out, I guess, because before the dollies came, they obviously had drinks at the like birthday dinner and stuff like that, and also like eating on edibles and shit like that. So Chloe couldn't handle all that smoke and, you know, was greening out. And obviously, you know, when you can feel that something wrong is about to happen, you want to just like avoid the situation at all costs before people start embarrassing themselves and shit like that, which is okay, because like if I wasn't feeling good from like indulging in these like substances and shit like that, I'd also want to leave before anything bad like happens, you know. So like Bridget was like valid in like just going with Chloe and leaving the club to like kind of take care of her back at where they were staying, you know, because like, bro, it's, you know, it's okay to also just, you know, choose peace and, you know, choose your battles wisely and dip when it's time to dip, especially if you're not feeling 100% okay to carry on indulging, right? Cool shot. Bridget had to go with Chloe back to where they were staying, but then Margaret, who I literally went there for, who I kind of brought my friends with to celebrate like her birthday with, left with Bridget and Chloe. And what was crazy was Margaret didn't even say a word like on arrival. She didn't say shit. Like sharp, she arrived after I had texted her like countless times on some where y'all at, we waiting for y'all. She didn't even say much like when she even arrived. And what was worse, like it didn't even take these guys 10 minutes to sit. Like they took like maybe even 5 minutes or whatever before Bridget and Chloe up and left. And then then Margaret decides to up and leave with them, and Margaret doesn't even say a thing to me when she ups and leaves. She literally just gets up and like runs off with them, and me and my friends are watching them literally up and leave after they had just sat down, and we are just so confused because it's like, okay, what just happened? Like, Am I the only one that just saw that like just happen in front of my eyes? Like, is this really happening right now to us? Like, what is going on? Sat there for a good minute, really confused, because now I'm like even more embarrassed to have brought my friends for nothing, in a sense, because like we came to celebrate these people came, and like less than 10 minutes later they're gone, like as in they never came back. And I'm just like, okay. So now I unexpectedly became a host, because now I'm trying to like, you know, make the rest of the night fun for my friends that I pulled up with. But at the same time, I am pissed as hell. Like, bro, Margaret, you're my close ass friend. Like, why would you do that to me? What am I supposed to do with myself? Like, what are we supposed to do with ourselves now that we're here and don't have the birthday girls to kind of celebrate with? Like, what do we do? So I'm busy shitting on her, like, bro, telling her, bro, like, you left without saying anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, you literally make us come here to watch you like pull up and then just leave straight afterwards. Like, who does that, especially when you don't even say anything? So I'm like, why would you even leave when we came for you? Did you have to like leave with like Bridget and Chloe? And then she's like, it wasn't my fault. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, Bridget's bestie Chloe was having some panic attack or whatever, because obviously she's busy greening out and all that stuff. And then Chloe basically influenced Bridget to kind of also be like, you know, off like flustered and stuff like that, which is why like Bridget kind of had to just take her and also leave with her, because I mean, Chloe was staying at Bridget's place, so obviously Bridget is kind of like somewhat responsible for her, you know. And like, guys, Margaret was just, I don't know, it just felt like Margaret was coming up with a bunch of excuses as to why she up and left with them. But like, I'm just like trying to say that Margaret wouldn't have been stranded had she stayed with us, because I stayed pretty close to the club or whatever. And if she was worried about not having a place to crash after the club, then she really didn't have to worry about that, because she really could have just stayed by me, you know, for the rest of the night, and I could have dropped her off where like the rest of the girls were like staying at. Because if you just needed to be at a specific location at a specific time, I would have made sure that that would have been the case. But you didn't have to ditch us the way you did, considering we left our homes to celebrate with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that really pissed me off. Like, I told her, like, bro, Margaret, 4 people came for you. We've been stranded here since 11:30. You come for 2 seconds, then leave without saying anything. It's almost 2 a.m. and we're still here confused and annoyed. Did you have to go with them? That's my question. When we came for you. She's like, yes. She said she's really sorry, and if she had a choice, she would have stayed. My chat is, guys, everyone has a choice in life, you know. Everybody has a choice in life. And I told her, bro, you had a choice. She's like, how? I'm like, if you were in our position, you wouldn't have been pleased with how you're moving. And then apparently I wasn't understanding the situation. But how can I understand when you make me wait for so long for some bullshit? Like, you didn't even stay to wait until we got the drinks. Like, we were fighting for that rider. Like, bro, we were just so over it at some point. Like, it took so long for us to actually start having fun, and that's what really pissed me off, because we also not even having fun with the people that we came there for, which is why I could have even stayed home that night. Like, that whole night like could have just been avoided. I could have just been indoors. I didn't have to like beat my face and doll the fuck up if I wasn't even gonna be with the person I actually left the house for, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Margaret, how can we understand when we don't know what's going on? Communication and planning from your guys' end like has been terrible. And she's like, you know, I'm busy telling you what's going on and I'm not reading. And I'm like, bro, this girl, like, and remember, keep in mind, these conversations are happening while I'm in the club after she had just dished us, and I'm typing. Music is like, you know, playing in the background, and I'm busy typing. Like, I'm mad. Like, I'm just mad, bro. And I'm like, my chat is, why couldn't you, as like, why couldn't Margaret stay with us? Because you're basically the host too, you know? Like, guys, how can Margaret and Bridget have posters of themselves, like, you know, that they celebrating their birthday at this establishment and then not full their, like, you know, responsibility as hosts? Like, Bridget's situation I understand, because her best friend Chloe was really like not okay. She had to go diffuse that situation, like, and go home. Like, that was fine. Margaret, on the other hand, is also a host just as equally as Bridget was, but I was mainly there for Margaret, and Margaret having to leave too. It's like, who's gonna be the host now? Who's gonna take care of me and my friends now? Because we didn't come here with a plan, you know. We didn't come here to be trying to like hustle for anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, we thought we were set, but the fact is, once these girls are gone, it's like, okay, now what? You know what I'm saying? So I told her, nah, this is messed up, bro. Like, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to me?
Why?
I was so pissed. I was just like, you know what? I just wanted to tell you that you are inconsiderate as fuck, and please do not depend on me the next time you come to Joburg for vibes and stuff like that, because like, I'm not there anymore. But yeah, like, I was just like, bro, this level of disorganization, this level of lack of communication, I ain't feeling it one bit. Like, I feel like Margaret depended on Bridget to kind of hold it down for us at the club, but since Bridget had to leave with her best friend, like, Margaret didn't really know what was going on or what the actual plan was or whatever, like, for the club, because I guess she depended on Bridget to have it covered. So when Bridget left, like, that was also kind of like, you know, maybe nerve-wracking for her. So she's like, let me also dip, because I see it's like, you know, you are in here, you know what I'm saying? So to my bro, like, I feel like the situation would have been sorted out had she tried to understand me and why I was so upset. But after I told her, or after like I told her off, she decided to mise me, bro. She mised me for so long. Like, she mised me for so long, left me on red for so long, didn't even try to like reason with me or try and understand like the situation from my perspective, because the next morning or the next day I was going off. I was venting my ass off on my Finsta, and she thought, after seeing all those videos of me talking about the night before, she just thought that she had, you know, understood the situation for what it was from my end. But girl, I'm not even gonna be able to tell all the details on my Finsta. I'm obviously just gonna go off because I'm upset and pissed off at the like lack of hosting skills you guys have, and the fact that Bridget, who I'm not even that close with, called me after the whole incident the next day, after she also like watched my stories on my Finsta. She had the decency to call me and actually have the conversation with me about where they went wrong, where we felt wronged, where we were upset, where things could have like gone better. But Bridget had the decency to call me and actually be like, nah, I'm so sorry for like putting you guys through that, because, you know, like, it wasn't expected, you know, things just like went from bad to worse in an instant, and it was honestly beyond Bridget's control. But Bridget had the decency to actually have a conversation with me and hear me out, you know. Margaret, who I'm way more close with, who I genuinely went there for, didn't even bother. She just watched my videos on my Finsta, and she's like, because she claims that she apologized. But is an apology really appropriate if it's like phrased in a way where it's like, I'm sorry, but if I had a choice, I would have stayed? Like, and also you saying that it wasn't your fault. Like, whose fault was it then? Because Bridget told me in that phone call conversation that she gave Margaret a choice whether to stay with us or to go with her. But then Margaret told me that Bridget didn't actually give her a choice to really, like, you know, decide. Like, Margaret made it seem that Bridget gave her an ultimatum, because Margaret told me that nah, she was given an ultimatum, wara wara, but Bridget is telling me nah, I gave her a choice and stuff like that. So it's like, you can't tell me, I'm sorry, but if I had a choice, like, I would have stayed. Why didn't you stay? Why did you decide to waste 4 people's time by also going up and leaving when you were also a host for the day? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like she could have stayed to just like entertain us, because we're kind of like there for her. So it really pissed me off that she even mised me when I was trying to when I was getting things off my chest, because I was really upset, bro. Like, you don't do that to someone that's your supposed close friend, bro. That was really whack. And I just feel like she didn't even take accountability for her actions. She just said a lame ass sorry and thought that it was okay and acceptable enough, and I accepted it because I had to move on at some point. But I won't lie, like, that apology was just a half-ass apology. Like, I don't think she took accountability for it in any way, and then still had the audacity to just move on with life as if she didn't do anything wrong. So now when people be asking me, oh, where's Margaret, bro, she's not my friend anymore. Like, she didn't really bother. Like, we don't even really talk like that anymore. We're not close like that anymore. She isn't really the type to admit when she's wrong. So I can't really hang with people who don't know how to communicate properly, and that's kind of also I feel like that's also because of her stubborn nature. And it's fine, because if she thinks she's really that bitch, if she really thinks she had no hand in how things went down, that's her opinion. But on the receiving end of that bullshit, it hurt so fucking much, especially since she didn't even really bother trying to recover what was left of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? And what's sad is that I really thought our friendship was gonna be one of those ones that last for a really long time. But the way it also just fell out, I was just oh damn, is that how we gonna go out? Damn, I thought you were a real one. I thought you were my bitch. I thought you were my girl. Damn, I rolled for you. I did so much for you. I didn't expect any of this from someone like you, because you were my nigga, bro. You really were a good friend of mine. So how things just fizzled out and stuff, I really didn't enjoy it. And I won't lie, it still hurts me to this day, but I'm more accepting of things for what they are, because Naya, she really didn't try. She really didn't try to kind of save our friendship. And I feel it also wasn't really my responsibility to kind of pick up the pieces, because I was the one that was wronged. I asked because the friends that actually asked me where Margaret is and stuff like that, I told them the situation, and I'm if you and your bestie went through that situation, if your bestie did that to you, would you guys still be friends? Yeah, they're fuck no, you don't fucking do that. You don't move like that. Because why'd you do that? I know, mommy. Eventually, after they left, we still wanted to have a good time. And fortunately, there was a table next to us where they were having fun and all that stuff, and we kind of joined and had a good ass time. We were literally one of the last people to leave the club that night, because we actually did end up having fun without the birthday girls. And as much as I didn't see that coming, I think we also just needed that to just unwind. And I'm glad that we didn't let that situation like make us also leave, because like it really was a shitty situation. But we didn't let that stop us from being the bad bitches we are, and we ended up having fun. But yeah, I hope I explained that situation as clearly as possible. I'm really fine with the few close friends I currently have. None of us really put our pride aside to kind of like fix things, but why must I also spell it out for you as the one that wronged me and explain to you like where you went wrong in order to get the apology, or for you to take accountability the way you should have? Like, I'm not gonna spell it out for you. We're both grown women. We both should know better. You should know better. And if you thought how you were moving, Margaret, was okay and appropriate, and you think you did nothing wrong, that's really your opinion. But when I explain the situation to other people, like how you were moving was fucked up, and the fact that your friend Bridget actually called me afterwards to kind of like get her shit off her chest and even like apologize the way she did, like you could have done the same, but you didn't even bother. You didn't give me the time of day, which made me feel like, man, maybe I'm not as close as I thought we were, because what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck was that? And it sucks that it happened, but you know, it is what it is. Like, you were quick to replace me, but I never once tried to replace that role you had in my life. You know, I never tried to replace you. I never tried to fill the void by getting other people to fill that void for me to kind of feel fulfilled and stuff like that. Like, once I lost you as this really close person in my life, I never tried to get someone else to kind of fill that void. I just carried on strengthening the friendships I already had. I'm just saying, man, you fumbled a really good ass friend, and I mean, I tried to like address the situation, but you blue ticked me and kept it moving. So it also got me thinking, like, did I do something wrong? And thing is, some people might not know where they went wrong unless you tell them. Some people need to be put in check sometimes. You didn't even give me that time of day. You didn't even try to understand the situation from my perspective. You just watched my stories on Finsta and thought, yeah, you know, you just thought that was it. You thought that was, you know, as good as it gets. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna just leave the story time there. Sorry, there's just so much noise going on, but I'm gonna just leave the story time there, and I hope that you enjoyed my first episode of scenes, and there are definitely more scenes coming up. So if you enjoyed this one, I hope you click the thumbs up button and do subscribe as well if you're ready to become a rock star today. But until next time, bye.